I'm going to show you 3 tests that you can try right now to find out how supportive your shoes really are. Now, the first test I'm going to show you, we're going to start with the heel counter squeeze. So the back of your shoe, where your heel goes, this is the part that we call the heel counter. So you're going to take your forefingers and then put them basically on either side of the heel counter and then squeeze, try to squish it in together. Now, as you do this, you want to see how close you can actually bring those 2 sides to touch. Now, with this sneaker, it's not touching, it's actually pretty stiff, so I'd say this has a pretty good medium to moderate heel counter support. In contrast, we have this style shoe. It's more like a slipper, and when I squeeze the heel counter, it clearly touches together in the middle. So this heel counter is not very supportive, and this is important especially if I know if my heel bone rocks extra side to side. The next test is to look at how flexible the midsole is. So the bottom of your shoe here can be rigid or flexible. Now, when we normally walk, the arch of our foot doesn't bend. It's actually where our toes bend. So the toes will lift up and bend. So if you were to take a step, you can see where the toes basically bend in your shoe. So for this test, you want to try to fold the sole in half. So hold underneath the heel and the toe box and then try to fold in half. If you can actually get a halfway bending looking shape, then that means the shoe is rather flexible. In contrast, with a shoe like this, when I go and try to fold in half, I don't really get too much in half. I get mostly just bending at toes. So this shoe gives more support through the arch and the forefoot of the sneaker. Now, the third test to assess your footwear support is the twist test. So imagine if my shoe was soaking wet like a rag and I hold on both ends and then I just try to twist. I want to see how much I can actually twist my shoe. So this sneaker doesn't have that much twist availability, so that means I'm getting support as I rock from my heel to my toes, and that twisting is actually going to be fairly controlled. Now, if we look again at our other example here, the slipper, if I try to twist this one in half, I have a little easier time at doing that twist. So what this tells me is that if I go out for a walk or a jog, I'll have more support in my shoe with this one and a lot less in this one. So I can make the decision if I want to wear one versus the other. And that can go with any activity and other style of shoes that you have. So test out your shoes, find out how supportive they are, and become your own judge to find out if your shoes are doing what you need to do for your feet.